Number 10. The leak-proof bin. Have you ever taken the bin bag out of the bin and put it on the street so it can be collected in the morning? If not, then you're probably a child. But if you have, then you'll have noticed one bad side effect. Leaky bin juice is possibly one of the foulest things this planet can produce. But don't panic, there's quite an easy way to stop it from accumulating at the bottom of your bin and turning into a weird puddle. Simply get some old newspaper and put that at the bottom of your bin. Number 9. Finding small lost items. There's nothing more infuriating than dropping something very, very tiny and not being able to find it. So the next time you find yourself on your hands and knees desperately looking for an earring or a tiny screw, simply get out the Hoover, wrap a stocking round the end of the nozzle, and then use that to suck up the item safely, wherever it may be. Number 8. Finding the end of a roll of tape. There are a few things in life more quietly infuriating than rolling a roll of tape around in your hands whilst using your fingernails trying to find the end. And this is a problem that's so easy to avoid, providing you remember to leave it properly. Simply take a little bread tab or a paper clip if you've got one and use that to mark the end of the tape. Number 7. Don't make things easy for thieves. We don't know about you, but most of the time when we're travelling, we have very expensive items with us. Whether it's a laptop or a phone or a camera, these things are very important to us, but they are also expensive items. Now, hopefully this isn't an invitation to track us down and mug us, but here's a little tip for you for when you're on public transport. If you've ever found yourself in the position where you're absolutely exhausted and really want to sleep, but you're aware that your bag has lots of expensive items in it, try tying it to your ankle before you go to sleep. Nothing too tight required here, just use the strap round the ankle, and if somebody tries to take it, then at least you'll be woken up. Personally though, I'm not sure I could handle an exciting chase sequence before I've had my coffee. Number 6. Save battery. Now this might seem like an obvious one, but there is something useful here at the end. When you know that you're about to run low on battery on your phone, or if you think you're going to in a few hours and you really need to keep it alive, obviously the cleverest thing to do is just switch it off. But if you do still want to keep it on for a couple of things, maybe listening to music, then putting it on airplane mode will increase the length of time you'll get juice out of your phone. And as I say, this is pretty obvious, but here's another cool side effect that you might not know about. Putting your phone into airplane mode will also disable most adverts in games. So if those pop-ups are doing your head in, switch on airplane mode. Number 5. Cleaning your keyboard. Now, we don't want to alarm you here, but your keyboard is probably full of weird muck. Don't worry though, there are easy ways to clean it. First off, a bit of a time-consuming one, but if you've got a pack of post-it notes sitting around, using the sticky bits and folding them through beneath the keyboard will help grab some of that stuff, particularly if you've given the keyboard a good shake to get it all down to one end. Otherwise, if you don't like the idea of spending cash on one of those fancy cans of oxygen to spray in, you can just get an old ketchup bottle, obviously one not with ketchup in it, fill it with air, which is just air, there'll be air around you, and use it to fire air into the keyboard and blow out that gunk. Obviously though, this is just for hair and dust. If you do, say, manage to fill your keyboard with tomato ketchup, and I did warn you about that, then these techniques might not cut it. Number 4, DIY without the injuries. Now, DIY without injuries is probably my favourite type of DIY, but if you like getting involved and have a tendency to rush in, then it's likely you're going to end up hurting yourself at some point. Here's a simple tip that can stop one common injury. If you're hammering a nail into a wall, then don't hold the nail in place with your fingers. A simple clothes peg will do the job just as well and keep your hands well out of the way. Number 3. Organising power cords. And when we say power cords, we do of course mean electrical wiring rather than what you might see a heavy rock band playing on stage. How on earth you'd organise that type of power cord, we're not sure. But anyway, having tons of messy wires running around under your desk or behind your TV not only looks a bit rubbish, but it can also be a fire hazard. Now, there are tons of solutions out there already for tying together these cables and getting them looking all neat. But one thing you might want to also think about is using colourful bread clips to tie them together. Because if you're smart, you can actually have a little colour-coded system, which means you can then identify which cables are which, even when they're all tied together. Number 2. Make a drink cold within minutes. Now, I'm sure we've all found ourselves in the position where it's a beautiful hot day and all you want to do is sit and drink an ice-cold drink. But you've forgotten to put any of them in the fridge. Don't panic, here's a simple fix. Wrap the drinks in wet paper towels and then stick them in the freezer for 15 minutes. Et voila, ice-cold beverages. Number 1. Heating up leftovers. Unless you're particularly good at not leaving a dirty plate, at some point most of us end up reheating leftovers. And if you're a student, then you'll probably find yourself using the microwave for dinners far more often than anyone else. As any seasoned student will know though, there is an art to using a microwave. And if you regularly find yourself heating something up in the microwave only to find that the centre of it is still quite cold, while the outside ring is like as hot as hell? Well, here's an easy fix. Arrange your food in a kind of donut ring shape, leaving a gap in the centre of the plate. That way, when it spins around, firing radiation at the edge of the plate, the food will get hot consistently. On a side note, you can cook pasta in the microwave by filling up a bowl with boiling water, however, you will flood your kitchen, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. Thanks everyone for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. For more top 10 lists, be sure to subscribe by clicking on the button that you can see now.